Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's beach report. I think today is Wednesday. Pretty sure it is. I never really know what day it is because every day is just something different for me. So I don't really think about the days in a way that maybe other people do. And then I also think time is an illusion, so there's that. Anyway, I called this show The Original Fake Person because, hello, I think I am one of the original fake people. And took some notes on this. And I'll tell you why. We've been talking about AI and hi, Marky Mark. Hi, Lisa. Good morning. Good morning. I've actually kind of been going through a lot lately. You see me often talking about things like AI data centers and how I am becoming convinced that could be the end of civilization. I think those data centers, I think that they are actually setting us up for a fall because they prove that climate change isn't real. Because if climate change was a real problem and a real, oh my God, then why in the world would corporations currently be taking over large land grabs and on once it started, it can't be stopped. Well, it needs to be stopped. Using up large amounts of land and water, and in states like Arizona and Utah, where water is scarce, and yet they're okay with taking what little water there is and cooling down an AI center with it. It doesn't make any sense, does it? And all of the voices that you normally would hear screaming about this kind of abuse of our environment, like Greenpeace, for instance, you don't hear a damn thing from them, do you? You don't hear a damn thing from anybody in the corporatocracy or in the media talking about the danger to life because of AI centers. And AI centers are being constructed to support, or data centers are being constructed to support AI, which is, yeah, Terry's right, nothing makes sense. I'm trying to make it make sense, but, you know, I do this show, I've been doing this show every day pretty much for the past 11 years. I've been showing up every day. Hey, Jericho. And yet, you guys watch all the time. People come on my show and they call me fake. They call me AI. You've seen it happen. They say I'm a bot. They're taking a paycheck to relinquish our privacy and freedom. Yeah, there's that too. But I'm going to own it. I was the original fake person. Long before any of this existed, way back in 1965, I was basically placed into a family that wasn't biologically mine. I was told that I was chosen by people who didn't choose me. They would have taken any baby that they were handed. And you can see also the picture is a picture of my book about my adoption, because I am just now kind of researching into my own issues of being a fake person, as if I was raised by people who weren't actually my parents. They became my parents and they loved me and called themselves my parents, and I called them mom and dad myself, but I was assigned to them. You know how they say, like, the kids these days, they don't just get born as a boy or a girl, they're assigned their gender. Well, I was assigned a family, and I was assigned a religion. You know, I wasn't born Jewish. but they baptized me, if you will. They put me through the immersion ceremony, they call it. And I was expected to fit into this family just because the Jewish Family and Children's Agency matched me up with them, kind of like speed dating for babies. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So I'm not really talking about being fake. I'm not a fake person, but I had my identity displaced as an infant. And those of you who are adopted watching this show right now, maybe you can relate to that, because it's not the normal experience where you're just assigned people to take care of you, and you get a new name and you get a new identity, and hi KG, hi Drake, and you just have to kind of go with the flow, and you grow up wondering, wow, these people love me, but the people who brought me into this world, well, who are they and where are they? Hi, Hawk. So, turns out that I started to grow up and I wasn't who they thought I was. I've always been aware that I wasn't a natural child. My parents told me from day one that I was adopted. Thank you, Matt Bag. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Hawk Productions. I think I said that already. Okay, John Doe, thank you. Not here trying to be a hot babe though, but I appreciate the compliment. I do. It's better than some of the nasty things, and we're not talking about that, Mark. So if you are a child, maybe you should go find something to do with other children, and don't come on a chat like this and try to change the tone and the subject by saying stupid things. Okay, sorry. Just don't appreciate it. I'm trying to talk about something that is very real and very, thank you, Darla, very near and dear to my heart. But the way that we are being deceived in the world through, thank you, Troy, the way we're being deceived through AI. Thank you, John Doe. So even though I wasn't a fake person, I'm not a bot. I'm actually standing here as a real person talking to you, but I grew up living somebody else's expectations. Yeah, UG AI. Hawk Productions you feel that way because AI has taken the reality out of our lives. And I want to talk about it. I want to have a discussion with you guys. And yes, always have respect, because I am a real person, and I understand that if you think I'm not, then you don't have any problem saying horrific things to me. And even if I am, you still don't have any problem saying horrific things to me. It tells me who you are, and that, I've got my moderators here, and they get rid of people like that. But I do want you guys to understand, wait, what did Hawk say that was so bad, Darla? Hawk is okay. Hawk doesn't think I'm AI, right? You can put him back on. Don't be too quick to get kick people off. Yes, Cactus, very often you guys will see people will come on. Thank you, Darla. People will come on and say that I'm not a real person and that I'm AI, and it happens. And thank you, Marky Mark. You are so sweet. And for those of you who don't realize that many of the people in this chat right now have been following me for many, many years. And Andre Stewart says, I can tell Jill was super fun back in the day because she's still gorgeous. What a sweet thing to say. The horrific thing is that people are losing their ability to discern reality and fakery. So I also wish that people wouldn't look at my last name like that and make snap judgments about me. First of all, I'm an American and I'm not a Zionist, and I actually never have been, even though I grew up Jewish. But my last name was assigned to me, okay? I was adopted as a baby. So everything I have was given to me or assigned to me. And thank you, Cactus. Yes, the trolls. Yeah. But the trolls are there, and the trolls are always trying to get people like me to shut up. So that's why I want to talk about it. I know you are. I know who you are, Hawk Productions. And sometimes it's difficult for me not to do my own moderation because I do know every one of my followers. Believe me, I'm watching you just as you are watching me. So there's that. And thank you, Two Story. You should never judge anybody, snap judgments immediately. You don't know their story, and I think you don't appreciate it when they do the same to you. Okay, thank you, Roger. Again, I'm not here trying to be hot and sexy. I am 60 years old. Darla's like not having any of it. I do have a talk with my mods, and I did tell them to get rid of the people who are just looking at me because of hot and sexy. It's so dumb, First of all, none of y'all are ever going to date me. It's just a fact. I don't date anybody. And Wayne, yes, Wayne says, sing us a song. Okay, I'm going to do that. And Jesus loves you too. So I am just going to sing us a song because Wayne asked for it. And Wayne doesn't even know if I can sing. So Wayne, that was great. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Dialing for dollars is trying to find me. I'll wait for delivery each day until 3. So Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. So, Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. So Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? How's that? Oh boy, Heidi's having some problems. Deb's not having any of it. So I am house and dog sitting. That's why you often see me in different places, because thank you, Darla, very much. Strange lyrics for so-called hippies. Did I say I was a hippie, Don? I don't know. It's a great song. Why am I not allowed to sing it? Thank you, Marky Mark. Yeah, it does sound like a Joe Goldstein prayer. That's a good one, Chris. But I love Janis Joplin, and that's why I sing it, because I like it. And thank you, Wayne. Busted flat in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, when I was feeling near as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed a diesel down just before it rained, rode us all the way into New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana. I was singing slow while Bobby played the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time. I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. He sang all the songs that driver knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing. And that's all that Bobby left me. Yeah, freedom there was easy love when they sang the blues. Freedom there was good enough for me. hmm Good enough for me and my Bobby McGee. On the Kentucky coal mine and the California sun. Yeah, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather and everything we've done. Yeah, Bobby, baby, kept me from the cold. One day outside Selena, whoa, I let him slip away. He's coming for that home, and I hope he finds it. But I'd trade all of my tomorrows for one single yesterday. To be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, and that's all that Bobby gave me. No. Yeah, freedom there was easy love when he sang the blues. Feeling good was good enough for me. hmm Good enough for me and Bobby McGee. La da da, la da da da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da, Bobby McGee. La da 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 da. Anyway, I can't sing Kitty Wells, sorry, but I can do Patsy Cline. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted, and then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. Here, let's switch on over to a little Loretta Lynn. Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter, thank you, in a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler. We were poor, but we had love. That's the one thing my daddy made sure of. He'd shovel coal to make a poor man's dollar. Hi, Jacob Willoughby. Hi, Chrissy Lee Cody. In the summertime, we didn't have shoes to wear. But in the wintertime, we'd all get a brand new pair. I'm a mail order catalog, money made from selling a hog. And my mommy always managed to get the money somewhere. If you knew your guy would leave you, would you still be dedicated? Well, actually, Heidi, my husband died, and I knew he was going to die. So yes, he left me. He left me in the saddest, most devastating way possible. But yes, I was always dedicated. That reminds me of a song. Guess mine are not the first, is not the first heartbroken. My eyes are not the first to cry. I'm not the first to know. There's just no getting over you. I know I'm just a fool who's willing to sit around and wait for you. But baby, can't you see? There's nothing else for me to do. I'm hopelessly devoted to you. But now there's nowhere to hide. Since you pushed my love aside, I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you. Ooh, hopelessly devoted to you. Ooh, what's in my eyes, Leo? Hopelessly devoted to you. Anyway, you got me off there onto a tangent, Wayne, singing. I love to sing. And for some reason, I know the words to many thousands of songs. And now Leo thinks he sees something in your eyes. The light, the heat, your eyes. I am complete, your eyes. I see the doorway, your eyes. 1,000 churches, your eyes. A revolution, your eyes. Of all the fruitless searches in your eyes. I'm glad you like that, Wayne, and I feel really great that you asked me to sing a song and I did and you liked it. That's always great. Not everybody likes my singing. In fact, I have some people who say, she can't sing, why is she singing? You know, I can sing. I wouldn't say I can sing well, but I can. And I would also say that I love to sing. I love to make a joyous noise unto the Lord. And that's all I'm doing. I am not a professional singer. I was not trained to be a singer. I just really like to do it. And I've been singing my whole life. So what's that, Deutschland? Hallo, Deutschland. Hello, Hans. So welcome to you newbies to the Beach Report. I am a journalist, an author, and an editor. Why do girls like to smell their hair? Is that something girls do? Well, sometimes when your hair is this long and you just washed it and it smells really good and you're like, give me head with hair, long beautiful hair, shining, gleaming, singing, flaxen, waxen. Give me diamonds there, hair, shoulder length or longer. Here, baby, there, mama, everywhere, daddy, daddy, hair, 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 hair. Glow it, show it, long it starts to grow my hair. I'll let it fly in the breeze and get caught in the trees. Is a home for the fleas in my hair. A home for fleas, a hive for bees, a nest for birds. There ain't no word for the beauty, the splendor, the wonder of my hair, 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 hair. Glowing, showing, long it starts to grow my hair. I want it long, straight, curly, fuzzy, snaggy, shaggy, ratsy, matsy, oily, greasy, greasy, shiny, gleaming, steaming, flaxen, waxen, spotted, polka dotted, twisted, beaded, braided, powdered, flowered, and confetti, spangled, tangled, tangled, and spaghetti. Oh, say, can you see my eyes? If you can, then my hair's too short. Down to here, down to there, down to there, down to where it stops by itself. They'll be gaga at the go-go when they see me in my toga made of long, clean, physical hair. My hair like Jesus wore it, hallelujah, I adore it, hallelujah, Mary loves her son. Why don't my mother love me? Hair, hair, hair. Glow it, show it, long it starts to grow my hair. So for those of you who don't know, that was from the musical of the same name, Hair. And as one of my dear friends says, I am a hair farmer. And look, here's a nasty man who is calling me nasty names and saying I'm on OnlyFans. But that would be you. No, I would never sell my body or my soul to anybody. And I am a follower of Jesus Christ. And yes, I am married. My husband is in heaven, but I'm still married to him. And someday we'll be together. Oh, say it again. I know someday we'll be together. Want to see a picture of my husband? Here, I'll show you. This is cute. Look at this. Years and years ago, one of my followers sent me this. This is for my computer, you know, for the computer mouse. This is Ray and I. Back in the day when he was healthy and wasn't dying of cancer. Look how cute. Look how cute he was. The guy's pretty cute too. That's us. This was we were on a date actually, that night, that picture. I know, how beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Hans. So, yes, I miss him. And it's so nice that I don't even remember who sent this to me, but I cherish it. I do. And whenever I'm working, and I got my mouse going, and then I look down and I just see Ray's face, and it's pretty wonderful. That's right. I met him at the gas station, Heidi knows. I did. I was actually pumping gas at an Exxon station in Clewiston, Florida. And I didn't ever go that way before. I thought I would like to see what is in the middle of the state. And because usually I would take Alligator Alley, and I was going to Sarasota. So instead, I drove up the middle of the state, and I ended up in Clewiston. And Ray was there. He was getting gas in his truck. And he looked into my car, thank you, Hawkeye, and he saw my little dog Muffin, who has also passed away. Only the good die young. Actually, she was 16 when she passed away, so she wasn't that young. But Ray, man, he was 58. That was way too young. That's right, true love, Irma. I actually went to a different gas pump because I was using like one of those, like you put a number in to get like 5 cents more or less for your gas, or I don't know. Anyway, the pump I went to didn't take that card, so I went all the way to the pump that was furthest away from the pump I didn't like, and that was the pump where Ray was. And he looks in my car and he sees my little dog, and he's like, what kind of dog is that? And I said, she's a Shih Tzu. And he just starts talking about dogs, and then he's talking about himself, and he was dressed like, he was an animal wrangler, so he was dressed like he worked in a zoo or something, and I never saw anyone like that before. And he was just like someone I just couldn't even imagine even meeting. And he had a TV show and was on television. If any of you are Spanish or speak Spanish, the show was called Caso Cerrado. It was it's a very famous show. It's like Judge Judy for Spanish speaking people. And he was also had his own show called Adventures in the Everglades with Ray Becerra or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But he's from Florida, but he grew up in Cuba. And he escaped communism in the 80s and came to America. And I met him in 2017, I believe. That was the day. It was actually November 6th. I know that because it was an election day. And just like 10 minutes, I told him I had this Facebook show. And he was like, I want to do Facebook, can you help me? I said, sure. I gave him my card, and thank you, Hans. And I drove away, and like 10 minutes later, I get this phone call where he had gone on my Facebook page, and he was super excited because he could see that I was a conservative woman and that I love freedom and that I understood how dangerous communism was. He could see all of that. And he said, wow, I didn't expect to meet you like, being like this. You know how many men online wife died and they're on the site the next day? Yeah, I don't care about that, Heidi. I don't date anymore. I don't want to. I don't want anything to do with anybody at this point. I have, Styx was canceled. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're doing it today. Okay, well that's good, Jamie. Yeah, I don't have any interest in any more relationships. I've been through the ringer with all of my relationships in my life, and now it's me, it's Jesus, and it's Ray. So I'm good. I'm happy, and I don't feel the need to date or look for anything that isn't already in my life, if you know what I mean. Heidi, I think that you're reacting to the men who were taken care of. That was my husband, Duds. There were men that were my husband in heaven. There he is. The men who whose wives die and their wife took care of them their whole lives or their whole married lives, they often, especially when they're in their 60s and 70s, they want to find a new wife right away because they can't maybe take care of themselves. But I don't feel this way. In fact, I always did the taking care of, and now I'm just taking care of number one. So, Poison, what culinary delights are you savoring? I don't know. You speak a little differently than I'm used to. So thank you, Duds. I do appreciate that. Hello, Barbara. It's so good to see you again. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the original fake person, which would be a person like me who was assigned a family as an adopted child and assigned a life that may or may not jibe with my own aspirations. But I was incredibly fortunate because the people who adopted me, they did let me be me, and they let me go when it was time for me to see the world. And I moved to Switzerland, which is very far away from Pittsburgh. And I had a lot of wild experiences just as a result of never feeling completely tethered to anyone or anything. So good to see you, Barbara, also. Yeah, I'm a little early today. No, I'm not. I'm trying to start my shows earlier. Like I wanted to start my show at like 7:30 this morning, but I had to walk the dogs. I had to feed the dogs. I had to feed the cat. I'm finding all these things that I need to do before I can do my show. And then I get a phone call from one of my kids, and then I'm off on a tangent there. So it's good that I'm on now. Then Jamie started calling me. I'm like, no, I can't take it anymore. So I'm doing a show, and I will call you back, Jamie. But it's an amazing life that I lead. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the feelings of being adopted. Being busy is good because idleness is definitely the devil's playground. That's so true, Mark. But sometimes I'm distracted. I am on the phone, and it's an important conversation, and I'm not saying it's, I'll always put people ahead of anything else in life. If one of my friends needs me, if one of my kids needs me, I'm going to be there to talk to them or, come on over. I always have time for people. And a lot of times that means that I'm not getting my own work done, and I'm a writer. So when you're a writer, you have the art of procrastination pretty nailed. It's always, there's always something I gotta do instead of standing at my computer writing, or what I'm doing now, which is laying out a book for the amazing Jamie Crow, whose book is going to be amazing. So I just have to nail myself in front of that computer, and it's good that I always have Ray with me. So that's helpful. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the way that AI is imitating people right now. Imitates, my girlfriend's here doing my show. She knows. Yeah, it's like even one of my friends is like, I need to see you today. I've got some stuff going around. I'm like, come on over. But anyway, talking about the fact that people feel like they can't trust anyone these days. It is really terrible. And I'm talking about myself as the original fake person, just to let you know that there are people like me on the internet, and we are the opposite of fake, actually, but we feel like, hey girl, they know you're here. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to, but you can come say hi if you'd like. Hi. She just says hi. She's got her own stuff going on, and she has food, so yeah, and I haven't eaten yet today, so that's a good thing. Yes, always ham and cheese. I will eat ham and cheese, yes. So anyway, I did want to talk to you guys. Is that a mango?
It is.
Let me show them what it looks like. Did you ever see a mango before? This one is super squishy. I think it's gonna be yum.
It's ready.
All right, yeah, here, you need a knife, right? Here's the knife for you for that mango. She needs a lot of things. We all need stuff. Hi, Maudie. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I am positioning myself as a truth teller. And yes, I was the original fake person, but that's just circumstances. So I do want you guys to understand that I know what it feels like to be called a fake. I know what it feels like for people to look right through you because they're not going to take you seriously. They're like, oh, you're just online. You're just some kind of whatever talking head. You don't matter. But I'm not going to let that happen to me because you guys every single day tell me how much you appreciate the Beach Report and how much you love what I do and the things that I say. And, you know, am I always right? Not always. Am I always wrong? No. Hi, Gretchen. But I want you to know that I am here for you. Now, before I go, I want to read a passage in the Holy Bible to you. Yeah, I think so. And this time we're going to go back into the first 5 books of Moses and hit Exodus, because when you're adopted, and I'm speaking to all of you adopted people in the crowd, would you ever be interested in co-writing a person's book after? Yes, of course, Jim, that's what I do. Yes, absolutely, I can help you. Okay, so if you're adopted, I want you to realize that adopted people are in the Bible. And I always said, talking about myself, is that adoption is the fastest way for you to have upward mobility. Just ask Moses. Thank you, Gretchen. Gretchen just put my my website up there, so please consider going and buying the book that I have on my picture, which is Do You Think About Me on My Birthday? So hello, Ricardo from Russia. Okay, all right, so we're gonna just start with Exodus 2, the birth of Moses. Now a man of the house of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch. Hi, Julie. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This is one of the Hebrew babies, she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? Yes, go, she answered. And the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you. So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, I drew him out of the water. Hey, Tom. Moses flees to Midian. One day after Moses had grown up, he went out to where his own people were and watched them in their hard labor. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his own people. Glancing this way and that and seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. The next day he went out and saw 2 Hebrews fighting. He asked the one in the wrong, why are you hitting your fellow Hebrew? The man said, who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you thinking of killing me as you killed the Egyptian? Then Moses was afraid and thought, ooh, what did I must have become known? When Pharaoh heard of this, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses fled from Pharaoh and went to live in Midian, where he sat by a well. Now a priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came to draw water and fill the troughs to water their father's flock. Some shepherds came along and drove them away. But Moses got up and came to their rescue and watered their flock. Hi, Jennifer. When the girls returned to Ruel, their father, he asked them, "Why have you returned so early today?" They answered, "An Egyptian rescued us from the shepherds. He even drew water for us and watered the flock." "Where is he?" he asked his daughters. "Why did you leave him? Invite him to have something to eat." Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. Hi, Victor. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have become an alien in a foreign land." During that long period, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites groaned in their slavery and cried out, and their cry for help because of the slavery, went up to God. God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. So God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them. Moses and the burning bush. I love this part. Now Moses was tending a flock of Jethro and his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that he thought that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, "I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up." When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses." Moses said, "Here I am." "Do not come any closer," God said. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." Then he said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. The Lord said, "I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" And God said, "I will be with you, and this will be the sign to you that it is I who have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you will worship God on this mountain." Hi, Vanessa. Hi, idiot. Thank you. That's a name. She's like, "Are you calling someone an idiot?" Yeah, idiot the most. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not idiot. It's I do the most.
Oh.
Thank you for pointing that out. Sorry, I do the most. I don't know. I thought your name was idiot.
Old age glasses.
All right. Yeah, I do. I wear my glasses. Oh, I don't wear them anymore. I know. And she's like, "What?"
We all needed a laugh.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of your fathers has sent me,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what shall I tell them?" God said to Moses, "I am who I am." This is what you are to say to the Israelites. "I am has sent you." Thank you, guys. They thought the name was idiot too. You might want to change that. I do. You might want to. Okay, God said to Moses, say to the Israelites, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name by which I am to be remembered from generation to generation. Go, assemble the elders of Israel and say to them, the Lord, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to me and said, I have watched over you and have seen what has been done to you in Egypt. And I have promised to bring you up out of your misery in Egypt into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, I'm sorry, you know what that sounds like. Anyway, Hivites and Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. The elders of Israel will listen to you. Then you and the elders are to go to the king of Egypt and say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has met with us. Let us take a 3-day journey into the desert to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not let you go useless. A mighty hand compels him. So I will stretch out my hand and strike the Egyptians with all the wonders that I will perform among them. After that, he will let you go. And I will make the Egyptians favorably disposed towards this people, so that when you leave, you will not go empty-handed. Every woman is to ask her neighbor and any woman living in her house for articles of silver and gold for clothing, which you will put on your sons and daughters, and you will plunder the Egyptians. Okay, I'm going to read one more section and then I got to stop. Signs for Moses. Moses answered, what if they do not believe me or listen to me and say, the Lord did not appear to you? Then the Lord said to him, what is that in your hand? And now this is about trust right here. Listen to this. A staff, he replied. The Lord said, throw it on the ground. Moses threw it on the ground, and it became a snake, and he ran from it. Then the Lord said to him, reach out your hand and take it by the tail. So Moses reached out and took hold of the snake, and it turned back into a staff in his hand. This, said the Lord, is so that they may believe that the Lord, the God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to you. Then the Lord said, put your hand inside your cloak. So Moses put his hand into his cloak, and when he took it out, it was leprous, like snow. Now put it back into your cloak, he said. So Moses put his hand back into his cloak, and when he took it out, it was restored like the rest of his flesh. Hello, Christ is risen. Always good to see you. Then the Lord said, if they do not believe you or pay attention to the first miraculous sign, they may believe the second. But if they do not believe these 2 signs or listen to you, take some water from the Nile and pour it on the dry ground. The water you take from the river will become blood on the ground. Moses said to the Lord, oh Lord, I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave man his mouth? Who made him deaf or mute? Who gave him the sight or makes him blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak, and I will teach you what to say. But Moses said, oh Lord, please send someone else to do it. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, what about your brother Aaron, the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and his heart will be glad when he sees you. You shall speak to him and put words in his mouth. I will help both of you speak and will teach you what to do. He will speak to the people for you, and it will be as if he were your mouth and as if you were God to him. But take this staff in your hand so you can perform miraculous signs with it. Oh my gosh, making Moses and Aaron the first Cyrano de Bergerac. What a great story, right? I could read this whole thing to you, but I'm gonna read one more section. You want me to read one more section? Want to hear about Moses returns to Egypt? Like, this is good stuff, isn't it? So interesting. Just say yes or I'll stop. Take a drink of my tea. Yes, God is so amazing. Christ is risen. Okay, you said yes. Okay. Moses returns to Egypt. Then Moses went back to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said to him, "Let me go back to my own people in Egypt to see if any of them are still alive." Jethro said, "Go, and I wish you well." Now the Lord had said to Moses in Midian, "Go back to Egypt, for all the men who wanted to kill you are dead." So Moses took his wife and sons, put them on a donkey, and started back to Egypt. And he took the staff of God in his hand. Then the Lord said to Moses, "When you return to Egypt, see that you perform before Pharaoh all the wonders I have given you power to do. But I will harden his heart so that he will not let the people go. Then say to Pharaoh, 'This is what the Lord says: Israel is my firstborn son, and I told you, let my son go so he may worship me. But you refuse to let him go, so I will kill your firstborn son.'" At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him, but Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet with it. "Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me," she said. So the Lord let him alone. At that time, she said bridegroom of blood, referring to the circumcision. The Lord said to Aaron, "Go into the desert to meet Moses." So he met Moses at the mountain of God and kissed him. Then Moses told Aaron everything the Lord had sent him to say, and also about all the miraculous signs he had commanded him to perform. Moses and Aaron brought together all the elders of the Israelites, and Aaron told them everything the Lord had said to Moses. He also performed the signs before the people, and they believed. And when they heard that the Lord was concerned about them and had seen their misery, they bowed down and worshiped. Okay, that's enough for the Bible reading. I'll pick this up later or tomorrow. But thank you guys for joining me on this morning's beach report, where, yes, I might be the original fake person assigned this Jill Cohen name, and all the things that I do, however, are my choice and my free will. And I choose to be a follower of Jesus. You're so welcome, Vanessa. It's good to see you all. And I'll see you on the next beach report. So, ciao for now.